If there's one place that defined what Las Vegas luxury was supposed to be, it's the Bellagio. That name still carries weight. The fountains, the glass art ceiling, the sound of Sinatra echoing across the lake. But behind all that beauty, there's a new story quietly unfolding. One that tells us not just about this resort, but about the future of Vegas itself. Let's start from the beginning. The Bellagio was never meant to be just another casino. When it opened in 1998, it was Steve Wynn's masterpiece, a $1.6 billion gamble to prove that Las Vegas could be elegant, cultured, and timeless. It replaced the dunes, a relic of old Vegas, and introduced something brand new: marble imported from Italy, Dale Chihuly's glass ceiling in the lobby, luxury boutiques, fine dining, and a lake with dancing fountains that could hit 460 feet in the air. It wasn't just a hotel, it was a statement. For the first time, Vegas wasn't selling sin, it was selling sophistication, and for a while it worked. The Bellagio became the gold standard. It appeared in Ocean's 11, in countless music videos, in Instagram posts from people around the world. If you wanted to feel like you'd made it, you didn't just go to Vegas, you went to the Bellagio. But that was 25 years ago, and if you visit today, something feels different. The fountains still dance, the marble still shines, but the magic feels thinner. Because the Bellagio, like much of the Strip, has started to crack, not from the outside, but from within. When Steve Wynn left and MGM Resorts took over, the soul of the Bellagio shifted from passion project to corporate asset. Then in 2019, MGM sold the property to Blackstone Inc. for over $4.25 billion. And now the resort operates under a leaseback deal, meaning every square foot of marble, every cocktail, every slot spin is there to service debt. That's the quiet truth behind the fountains. The Bellagio isn't run by dreamers anymore. It's run by spreadsheets. And when that happens, every part of the guest experience starts to feel like a transaction. Back in the early 2000s, you could book a Bellagio room for under $200. Today, $400 plus a night isn't rare, and that's before taxes and resort fees. A simple breakfast in the cafe, $35, $40 per person, drinks at the pool, $25 for a cocktail, $9 for a bottle of water. Guests are noticing. Reviews talk about how the prices don't match the service anymore, how everything looks nice until you realize you're paying triple what it's worth. The Bellagio used to make you feel like luxury was within reach. Now it feels like luxury is keeping you out. The Bellagio turned 25 this year, and that age is starting to show. Yes, the resort looks immaculate from afar, but if you stay there often, you start to see the signs. Rooms with dated decor, carpets that have been replaced but not redesigned, hallways that smell faintly of age. Guests mention slow elevators, broken fixtures, and water leaks that never seem to get fixed. It's not about one issue. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Because when you charge $500 a night, the details matter. A property that once defined flawless is now fighting time itself. And in a city that reinvents every decade, the Bellagio can't just rely on nostalgia forever. And then there's the issue Vegas doesn't like to talk about: safety. In June 2025, there was a fatal shooting right outside the Bellagio fountains. Police called it targeted, but for guests, it doesn't matter. Fear and luxury don't mix. Add to that periodic power outages, small fires in service areas over the years, and the constant crowd pressure on the Strip. And the Bellagio's image of calm sophistication starts to feel more like controlled chaos. When guests hear gunshots near the fountains, or see heavy police presence outside their 5-star escape, it breaks the illusion. You can polish marble all you want, but you can't hide anxiety. The Bellagio used to be famous for one thing: service. You'd check in and the staff would remember your name. Dealers would crack jokes. Bartenders would talk to you like old friends. But since 2020, that's changed. After the pandemic shutdowns, MGM Resorts, like many Vegas operators, cut thousands of staff. Then when demand came back, they never rehired to full strength. Now you'll often wait in line at check-in behind digital kiosks. Housekeeping is upon request. Room service can take an hour, and valet is half the staff it used to be. Even the famous Bellagio buffet Once a Vegas icon feels smaller, less personal. Employees quietly admit they're overworked. Some run 3 stations at once. Others are part-time with no benefits. When you cut the people who make the magic leaves with them. Here's the irony: the Bellagio was built to be accessible luxury, a place where ordinary people could feel extraordinary, but over time it's turned into a gated version of its former self. The high-limit rooms have expanded, but casual gaming areas have shrunk. Poker once had a mix of tourists and pros. Now it's dominated by whales and influencers. The restaurants are 5-star, but try finding a decent $20 meal anywhere inside the resort. It's not that luxury is bad, it's that when everything is luxury, nothing feels special anymore. Vegas used to balance high-end and high-energy. The Bellagio now leans so hard into exclusivity that it forgets what made it fun. Another quiet threat? Competition. The Bellagio isn't just fighting time, it's surrounded by neighbors that reinvent themselves faster. Across the street, the Cosmopolitan feels younger, trendier, more social media friendly. Further down, Resorts World offers modern design, digital check-in, and new tech that the Bellagio's 1990s architecture can't match without major renovation. Even Wynn and Encore, built after the Bellagio, have upgraded faster and now outpace it in service rankings. In a city where novelty is currency, the Bellagio risks being the one thing Vegas can't afford to be: predictable. Remember that $4.25 billion Blackstone deal? That money didn't disappear, it turned into monthly lease payments. And those payments don't care about slow seasons, inflation, or declining tourism. So when Vegas visitation dips, like it did in 2025, management looks for ways to squeeze more out of fewer guests. That means higher resort fees, premium upgrades, and pushing guests towards spending more per visit. It's not greed, it's math, but the result feels the same: a resort that's less about hospitality and more about extraction. The Bellagio still looks incredible on the surface. The fountain show alone is pure art. The interior is beautiful. But luxury that's all image and no heart doesn't last. When guests start describing your casino as cold, when your regulars say it doesn't feel the same, that's not nostalgia, that's erosion. Bellagio's problem isn't that it's bad, it's that it's becoming ordinary in a city built on extraordinary. To survive, the Bellagio will have to do what it once did best: reinvent itself, not with another marble renovation or celebrity restaurant, but with something simpler: warmth. Because at the end of the day, what made the Bellagio magical wasn't the fountains or the chandeliers, it was the feeling that you were part of something timeless, a dream that Vegas could be both classy and kind. Right now, it's losing that balance, and if the Bellagio can't find its soul again, it risks becoming exactly what it once replaced: a beautiful relic of a city that forgot how to care. So next time you walk past those fountains, ask yourself, are you watching water dance to music or watching a warning play out in real time? Because the story of the Bellagio isn't just about one resort, it's about what happens when the brightest light in Vegas starts to flicker.